What's up, guys? My name is Kevin with Precision Service, and here in front of me is an S33 Studer grinder. This is Moglice ways. This is a video we showed you previously that they had lubrication issues, they had accuracy issues because of lubrication issues, and it kind of tore itself up a little bit. So we got everything apart. We were able to clean up the ways as best as, and what we're able to do is level the machine, of course, but then also kind of see where the wear is in the machine for the most part. The table ways are not terrible for most machines, but for a Studer it is. On the ends, they're a little bit plus, and that's just because they were working this machine in the center. I don't know if they had shorter distance parts or whatever the case is, but that's what we noticed. Now, the spindle where it comes in and out, it actually dips like 14 or 16 thousandths. I think it's 16 thousandths. I'll show you in another video. So that is our main, terrible system. This isn't so bad, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna work with this first. What's crucial on this thing is because the other one is so bad, I gotta break out all the Moglice on it. This one's not terrible, I could scrape it. We're gonna work this system so then that way I could judge by my heights for centerline so I know where to put this Moglice over here. So what that is gonna entail is us scraping this by hand for the most part. But the only way I could do that is I'll have to take the table, which is right around here. And what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna scrape the top of the table perfectly flat. And then we're gonna weigh grind these surfaces and make sure they're completely trued up. Now you can see in this section right here, I don't know if you could zoom in, that is a clogged lubrication line. Now I don't know if the other ones were or weren't. I saw that when the guy was taking it apart, so I'm like, hey, leave that so I could show it and document it. But that's what happened. It was just a lubrication failure that ended up eating itself up. But once I get this perfectly trued up, we're gonna flip this over, we're gonna put Dykem blue on these waste surfaces and do a rub on this thing. And we're gonna put a level on top of this thing, and we're gonna scrape that bedways perfectly true using this as my master. Now, because this is smaller than the actual table section, you have to do it in certain steps in order to do that. But we've done this plenty of times before, so we'll do that. After that's all completed, I will have to take the swivel table, which is right in front of me. We're gonna grind the top of it, as well as we're gonna grind the master, and then I believe there's a clamping mechanism in here too, yeah, which is on this side here. So I'm gonna grind this thing top and bottom, the master here, and then the clamping surface. And once I figure out how much material I take off of this, I'll have to take both of the tailstock and workhead here, put a fixture in there, and then scrape those perfectly true. So what I'm doing is I'm completing the whole entire table section, so then that way I can figure out what my heights are. Now just in front of me is where the spindle rests on. Now I don't have it flipped over. The nice thing about this surface is it's perfectly flat. So it's easy for me to flip this thing over, grind the backside. We're probably have to hand scrape it a little bit to get it perfect right on the net's ass. But I'm able to cheat this machine by putting shim and raising it up to centerline. The last thing I want to do is do the table section second, be too tall over here and machine this surface, or just be all together just way too high, because I'm not going to shim over here. Because this is a swivel table, it should be metal to metal, and you should never cheat that. You could technically get away with putting turkite underneath these surfaces, but we don't like doing that. We do it this way because we add shim to here. It makes the most sense on this thing. But I'll create some more videos for you guys on this one. But what we're going to focus on is the table first, getting this all completed, which will take a lot of time because a lot of it's done by hand in that bed section. We'll probably have to pull a couple more covers off. But if you guys have any questions or you have the same problems with your machines, definitely reach out to us. If we can't talk it through the phone, you could bring the machine in and we could scrape it in for you and be a fraction of the cost brand new. Thank you.